This is 47 Lock Street, and you broke a window and trespassed into a private residence. There is a lot you don't know. There are no needles or prescription drugs in this house. Downtown clinic, single-parent family, may have emotional disorders. I am scared. You told me I was just coping with my parents' divorce. I waited for you for 10 years. I won't give you anything. Vincent, I am sorry I couldn't help you, but if you let me try, give me a chance. Lao Zhou, a top child, psychologist with a successful career and a happy family, celebrated at home with his wife Lina after winning the city's Outstanding Contribution Award. Lina proudly read the inscription on the medal to her husband, every word filled with love and adoration. The people of Philadelphia proudly bestowed this award upon their son, Dr. Malcolm Crowe, in recognition of your professional excellence. For them, Lao Zhou is the pride of the city. For Lina, he is a hero who gave everything to help those families. However, all this warmth and sweetness was utterly shattered by an uninvited guest. A young man named Akai burst into their bedroom, dazed, wearing only underwear, and covered in strange scratches. Akai was old Zhou's patient 10 years ago, a child who was once diagnosed with an emotional disorder. He bitterly accused old Zhou of dismissing his problems in his youth, simply reducing his profound fears to family issues, which ultimately transformed him into the monster everyone perceives him to be today. Before Lao Zhou could even make amends or explain, a desperate Akai pulled out a pistol, first shot Lao Zhou, and then, in endless agony, ended his own life. This incident became an indelible shadow in old Zhou's mind, causing him to question his professional competence. Consequently, his relationship with Lina took a sharp downturn, reaching a freezing point. To seek redemption, he began to pour all his energy into a new case, a 9-year-old boy named Xiaojie. Xiaojie's situation was strikingly similar to Akai's back then. Both came from divorced families and were solitary and unsociable. His eyes always harbored a fear beyond his years. At their first meeting, the sensitive Xiaojie retreated into the church, as it seemed only there could he find a moment of peace. Old Zhou gently approached him, telling him that in ancient times, churches were places where people sought sanctuary. What are they hiding? Xiaojie asked. Bad people. Zhou noticed Jie wearing a pair of lensless glasses, which were a memento left by his father. Under old Zhou's patient guidance, Xiaojie finally began to slowly open up. Meanwhile, Xiaojie's mother, Guixiang, was also deeply worried about her son's situation. One morning, she found all the cupboards and drawers in her house open, while Xiaojie was just quietly sitting at the table, as if nothing had happened. When Guixiang asked him if he was looking for something, Xiaojie retorted, "Mom, what are you thinking? Are you thinking about my mischief?" Guixiang firmly told her son that she would never miss him that much, but her heart was filled with confusion and helplessness. At school, Xiaojie was further bullied by his classmates, who regarded him as a freak. They mocked and isolated him, making his already secluded world even darker. Lao Zhou designed a mind-reading game to get closer to Xiaojie. The rule is simple. If Lao Zhou guesses Xiaojie's thoughts correctly, Xiaojie takes one step towards the chair. If he guesses wrong, he takes one step back. Lao Zhou accurately stated that Xiaojie didn't trust him because his mother had been hurt by a psychologist. "You have a secret, but you don't want to tell me," old Zhou said. Xiaojie took a step back, which made Lao Zhou realize that the core of the problem was more complex than he had imagined. Xiaojie mentioned that he once drew a picture at school depicting a person being stabbed in the neck with a screwdriver, which caused a huge uproar, and his mom cried because of it. From then on, he only painted rainbows and smiling people because nobody would hold a meeting because of a rainbow. Behind these words lies deep loneliness and the pain of not being understood. Lao Zhou's work isn't going smoothly, and his relationship with Lina is also growing more distant. He tried to confide in Lina about his work-related struggles, mentioning the scratches on Xiaojie's body and suspecting he might have suffered some form of abuse. But Lina seemed distracted, as if an invisible wall stood between them. Old Zhou felt overwhelmed by the second chance, and he didn't want to mess it up again. His communication with Xiaojie was also deepening, and Xiaojie told him that the reason he was unwilling to share his pain with his mother was because the way his mother looked at him was different from others. He didn't want to lose this special perception, and didn't want his mother to also think he was a freak. Lao Zhou firmly told him that he wasn't a freak, and these words gave Xiaojie great comfort. During a consultation, Lao Zhou asked Xiaojie what he would most want to change if he could change one thing. Xiaojie thought for a moment and said, "Can it be not what I want, but what I don't want?" After receiving an affirmative reply, he said, word by word, clearly and heavily. I don't want to be afraid anymore. Xiaojie's fear was not unfounded. At school, he was again isolated by his teachers and classmates, because he revealed that the old school site was once an execution ground. He could even see the teacher's past experience of being bullied because of his stutter, which caused him to lose emotional control in class, shouting, stuttering, Stanley, and ultimately being deemed a madman. At a birthday party, Xiaojie was maliciously locked in the attic by his classmates. Inside, he experienced extreme fear. After he came out, he was covered in injuries and fell into a coma. The doctor's examination confirmed there was no epilepsy, but Guisheng was suspected of child abuse by social workers due to the scars on Xiaojie's body, which brought her to the brink of a breakdown. In the hospital, Lao Zhou told Xiaojie a story about himself, a psychiatrist deeply tormented by guilt for being unable to help patients. Until he met a new boy, he wanted to help this boy, just like he had helped that failed case. What is the ending of the story? Xiaojie asked. I don't know, Lao Zhou admitted. Lao Zhou's honesty finally earned Xiaojie's trust, and he decided to reveal the secret he had never told anyone. Is it in your dreams? Lao Zhou asked. No, when I am awake. Xiaojie's voice trembled. They walk around like ordinary people, but they cannot see each other, only seeing what they want to see, and they don't even know they are dead. How often can you see them? This astonishing secret left Zhou feeling an unprecedented shock. He even, at one point, wanted to give up, believing he couldn't help Jay. You are the only one I can count on, don't give up, Xiaojie pleaded desperately. Xiaojie's plea moved Lao Zhou, who went home and dug out Akai's medical recording from that year. After amplifying the background noise, he heard a faint, fear-filled Spanish male voice crying out, I don't want to die. Lao Zhou instantly realized that Akai back then was not imagining things. He, just like Xiaojie, could truly hear the voices of those departed souls. He found Xiaojie and proposed a bold hypothesis. What do you think these ghosts want from you? Seeking help, Xiaojie replied. That is right. Even the intimidating ones, they just need help. Lao Zhou encouraged him. Try to listen to them. What if they just want to harm others? I am not sure, but it is worth a try. Soon, Xiaojie encountered a lost soul seeking help, a sick little girl. Error, the red operation timed out. At the girl's funeral, he handed the box to the girl's father. Inside the box is a videotape, revealing the astonishing truth that the girl's stepmother had been systematically poisoning her food. This experience made Xiaojie no longer afraid. He began to understand that his ability was a gift, a bridge to help those restless souls fulfill their last wishes. His life took a turn for the better when his confident performance won thunderous applause. After the performance, he gave old Zhou a piece of advice. Wait until your wife is asleep before you talk to her. That way she'll listen, but she won't know it. Xiaojie also finally had the courage to confess everything to his mother, Guisheng. I can see ghosts, Mom. They will ask me for help. Do you think I am a freak? To convince his mother, Xiaojie relayed his grandmother's last words. He revealed the secret known only to the mother and daughter. Grandma had actually gone to watch her dance performance, but was just hiding at the back. It also answered the question Guisheng had asked at the grave. Have I made you proud? Her grandmother's answer was, every day. These intimate details brought tears to Guisheng's eyes. She hugged her son tightly, and all the estrangement and misunderstandings melted away in that instant. Lao Zhou returned home and saw Lina asleep on the sofa, with their wedding video playing on the television. He remembered Xiaojie's words, sitting by her side, softly expressing his longing and apology. Lina, still in her sleep, seemed to hear his words and mumbled, Why did you leave me back then? I haven't left you, old Zhou replied. Just then, Lina's hand dropped, a wedding ring slipped from her loosened finger and fell to the floor. Lao Zhou looked at his bare fingers, then at the ring on the ground, and a terrible thought crept into his mind. Xiaojie's words echoed in his ears. They don't know, they are already dead. They only see what they want to see. He finally understood why the house was always so cold, why Lina ignored him, and why the door he could never open was blocked by a desk. He recalled the night he was shot, only to realize he had already died that night. He is also one of those lost souls who do not know they are already dead, and because of the guilt in his heart towards Kai and his love for Lina, he has been lingering in the human world. Now, he has helped Xiaojie achieve redemption, and has finally untied his own emotional knot. He spoke his final confession to the sleeping Lina. You are never my second choice. Go to sleep now. Tomorrow morning, everything will be different. Having spoken, he peacefully departed amidst a white light.